Hey everybody, Eric Mitchell. I am so excited today. Longtime friend Lauren Riddick is joining us to talk about reverse mortgages. If you're watching this video, you are a real estate agent, um, and we sent you this video because we want you to understand the opportunities for you to help clients in their latter years of life with something that's super unique, super misunderstood. I would also say, Lauren, would you agree with that? It's very misunderstood in the marketplace. And,
Absolutely.
and so we want to create some clarity. What does this mean to you as a real estate agent? What does this mean to your clients? How do you use this to get new business, create value for existing clients? And with that said, Lauren, let's dive in, man. So reverse mortgages. So one more thing. So Lauren is now our national reverse division leader. He has launched a national division for reverse inside Nexa, and couldn't have a better guy doing it, man. I know you got great jokes, and this is gonna be very entertaining as always. And so we'll let's just jump right into it.
I appreciate it. And again, just first there before I get started, I just want to tell everyone what they already know, man. They're dealing with a world-class guy. Your mortgage practice is second to none. And yes, we've known each other for a number of years, so it's an honor to be here with you today. Folks, the reverse mortgage is a very, very misunderstood program. And I just want to get right into it. First off, it's just a mortgage. It's very simple. If you make payments, the balance goes down. If you don't make payments, the balance goes up. You see, many Americans find themselves in a situation where they have a lot of equity, wealth, if you will, through the equity of their home. And quite frankly, if they don't call a real estate partner or a mortgage professional, they'll never have access to that money, period. So you see, in 1987, Congress got together and developed a program that allowed senior Americans who've acquired wealth to take advantage of this program. Wealth that's been acquired through the equity of their home. And Reagan signed that into law in 1988. And frankly, there's been over 1 million facilitated since that time. And it is undeniably one of the most powerful things. And for a real estate partner, it's very powerful.
Yeah,
Now,
so
here's,
Lauren,
yeah,
one of the two of the things that I find most intriguing about reverse mortgages, and I really feel these are two areas that are really either not taught, people are not understanding, they're not educated about it. But the two biggest factors for me is that you cannot be foreclosed on. So if you have a reverse mortgage, you cannot be foreclosed on, period, as long as you're alive and still living in the house as your primary residence.
and pay your taxes. That's right.
And pay your property taxes, correct. And homeowners insurance, I would imagine as well. And and so, but the payment, the mortgage payment, the principal, the interest, etc., no, right? It's not a required payment. You
That's right.
can pay it, but it's not required, right? And so when you look at how many Americans have equity in real estate, right? Because our grandparents and great grandparents, and I would say maybe the parents of seniors, went through the Great Depression, and there's this psychology of get your house paid off, get your house paid off, get your house paid off, right? It was taught to us. It's multi-generational trauma that was taught to us. And so there's millions and millions and millions of Americans that have massive amounts of equity in their homes, but they don't have a paycheck anymore,
Right.
right? They don't have income coming to the house anymore. And so now what do we do? Right? Okay, I have property taxes, my house is paid off maybe, or I have all this equity, but I don't know how to tap into it because I'm not really in the workforce anymore. And I don't want to be a burden to my children. And I've got health costs and I've got all this other stuff going on. Like, how do I manage this? And that was really to me why this got passed and why this is such a valuable product is you can come into this structure. Never, ever, ever will you lose your home, no matter what, as long as you pay your property taxes, your home insurance, right? And so, and you live in your house as your primary residence and you're still alive, right? As long as those things are in play, you cannot lose your house. It's not like the bank owns your house. No, like you said, it's a mortgage, but it has really unique features to it. Sorry, I don't. Let's keep going, bud.
No, I love it. I love it. And, to that point, Eric, here's the thing real estate partner, think about it. I love asking this question. Until a client pays their home to zero, in other words, they have a mortgage, who owns their home until they pay it off, bank or client? Well, many of you are, well, the bank, of course. Well, we'd be wrong. How do we know that? Well, first off, if you need to fix up the kitchen, you don't call the bank to get permission to do that. And you don't have the bank sign the listing agreement, purchase contract, or any closing docs. So, as Eric said, until foreclosure, the bank doesn't on the home. So again, it's just like a traditional mortgage. And the reason that the payment is optional is it's insured through FHA. Now, there's two different types of reverse we'll talk about in a moment, but basically the carrot at the end of the stick for the bank is that FHA insures the note. Myth number one, you give ownership. As Eric just shared, that's not the case. Myth number two, FHA insures the loan. That's what protects the servicer.
Yeah, so the lender or the servicer is not at risk
That's right.
because the government, the United States federal government, is insuring the loan
That's
against
right.
loss.
That's
And
right.
yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
And and two other things, Eric, it also does is the FHA mortgage insurance, which is what happened when Reagan signed it into law, is it also provides a non-recourse feature, which means that even if the senior lives till they're 100 years old and they owe more than the house is worth, nothing else can be touched. Only the house owes the debt. And they even guarantee the heirs 5% equity, Eric. So if the home is payoff is 1,500,000 and the home's only worth 1,000,000, then little Johnny only has to come up with about 950 grand, which leads us to this great slide. Probably the most important slide outside of the tools for the real estate partner. At the end, the children, the heirs, can either sell the home, just like a traditional mortgage, keep the proceeds. Number two, or of course, the senior can do that if they need to change the way they're living or how they're living. It can be refinanced or they can walk away. Now, if there's equity, obviously we don't want them to walk away. But if there's no equity, they can truly walk away scot-free, no problem. Now, many of you think that, like I used to think, that the reverse mortgage is only for a needs-based borrower. You're going to see in these following slides, it's hardly that at all. In fact, Dr. Wade Fowle, the American College, challenges financial planners with fiduciary responsibility that if they don't talk about reverse, they're more likely to be sued if they don't talk about it than if they do. Let's talk about some practical application here. Very, very powerful points. Number one, real estate partner. You have a client that wants to spend $1,000,000 in cash on a home. This program will allow them to keep around $400,000 in cash and still facilitate the purchase. $600,000 in cash, $400,000 in the FHA insured reverse.
So
Big.
I want the realtors watching this to understand this, right? And so a lot of seniors, because they're not technically employed, right? How do I get a mortgage if I'm not employed?
Right.
I can't show income, to that level. And so I'm just going to pay cash for whatever I can afford. And I'm selling this house or I've saved up money. You don't need to take all of your cash anymore, right? You can keep $400,000 cash in the bank. And I don't know about you, but I sleep a lot better when I have cash in the bank. When I
Yeah.
don't have cash in the bank, I don't sleep so good,
Yeah.
especially if you're a senior. And so all of a sudden, as a real estate agent, you've just opened the client's eyes to they can still qualify for a mortgage. Now it's a
That's
reverse mortgage, right? But you can make payments, not make payments, but you can't be foreclosed on as long as, as we discussed. But you just saved the clients. You just made the clients you allowed them to have $400,000 sitting in the bank now, whereas before they thought they had to pay all cash. I mean, that's just such a huge,
right.
huge value to the clients.
Oh my gosh, yes. And you're talking about creating raving fans there. And
Yeah.
for our realtor partners out there, do you not think that they're going to tell their friends? Unbelievable,
Yeah.
right? No other realtor partner showing this. That's why it's great to partner
Yeah,
with
we're
Eric.
friends with like kind, right? And so if you're a senior in this situation, you have friends that are seniors in this situation. What a better way to get referrals as a realtor.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Another example I'd love to share. On the other side, the borrower only has 600,000 in cash. I know in Southern California, Eric, in your market and in that area, it's not going to buy a whole lot,
Yeah.
but 1,000,000 will. So think about this real estate partner. Someone walks in your office today that's 62 years or better. They have 600,000 in cash. You now get to take them up to around $1,000,000 purchase point.
Huge.
Again, like
I
Eric
mean,
said, it makes
and
it
as a
easy.
realtor, what just happened to your commissions?
Right.
Right?
Right.
And the client got the house they wanted, and they can't be foreclosed on, and, right?
Yes.
Oh my God. Real quick question for you, Lauren. Are there new programs that allow the age to go from 62 to 55?
Absolutely. The FHA back program, Eric, has the 62-year age threshold, which just means at least one borrower needs to be 62, unless it's the state of Texas and both are required. The proprietary or portfolio reverse will actually exceed up to about a $6 million amount. That actually has a programs that'll accommodate ages as young as 55 years old.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yes,
So
sir.
it's so as a real estate agent, think 55 or older, there are solutions. It doesn't have to be 62 anymore. Now it's down to 55 and there's some portfolio solutions.
That's right. That's right. And really, Eric, just a compliment to your mortgage practice. The first slide didn't have anything to do with you and I as far as your mortgage practice is concerned. But the beautiful thing about this scenario, for the first time in the history of our mortgage practices in the mortgage arena, we get positioned to get paid on cash deals. So it's actually a win for the client. It's a win for the real estate partner, and it's of course win for us. So it's very powerful, as you mentioned. This is probably the most powerful slide, Eric, that I would share with the group. When the home becomes a house, folks, I want you to think about something for a moment. There is a time, there's what, 10,000 seniors turning 62 every day. There's $14 trillion in senior equity out there. And unfortunately, Eric, for you and I, man, we're an endangered species. There's about four widows to one widower on the national average. Well, imagine there's a widow out there, folks, that are she's 62 years or better. She has $1 million home. She owes $400,000. She has $600,000 in equity that she can't take with her, totally at the risk of the market, maybe the nursing
And she's
home,
got a big mortgage payment at 400,000 that she can't afford because
and
she's on
she'll
her own.
and she'll never pay it off, Eric.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: the home has become a home house, right? She's walking by her deceased husband's favorite chair. He's not
Yeah.
there anymore.
Yeah, she doesn't want to be
There's
there
the
anymore.
time. Right, exactly. So what happens? Well, you can actually take the situation where the $1 million home can be freed up, list it, folks. Take the $1 million home and list it. Take the 600,000 and go buy another $1 million property
Yeah.
and have no payment out of her pocket for the rest of her life.
It's just incredible.
And how much did the realtor get paid on, Eric?
They get the listing and the buy side.
2 million
Yeah.
out of thin air because you knew Eric Mitchell. Love it. And again, like I said, just in closing, Eric, there's two types of reverse programs. One would be the FHA back program, which will accommodate property values up to about 1.2 million. The portfolio or jumbo would be up to 6 million. So that's it in a nutshell. I know we want to make it quick and fast, but I'm here for
Yeah.
any other comments.
I appreciate you, man. And realtors, if you're watching this, reach out. We'd love to get you more information, whatever we can do to help facilitate more transactions and more value in the marketplace and helping people. That's because at the end of the day, that's what we're all here to do is help people, educate them, help them in building wealth, in retaining wealth, and living a better life. Hey, man, I appreciate you. I see we both got the memo on shaved head and a white beard. Although I
I'm a
think you,
little,
I think you
I'm a
win on the
little
beard.
wiser.
You win on the beard component, which is it's all good.
Appreciate it, Eric. Thanks,
Thanks,
man.
guys.